Hey y'all, what's good, beautiful people? Yes, a second video, same day. I just had so much information that I felt like was relevant to what so many of us is going through right now, especially when it comes to our tax returns. So I did do a video previously today about your tax returns, about people specifically who filed their tax returns between February 12th and February 13th, or who have their where's my refund tool bars missing or disappeared, or whatever the case may be. So I wanted to do a separate video dedicated to that. Definitely make sure you guys smash that like button, comment down below, subscribe if you haven't already, plus push your post notification bell button so that way anytime I upload a video you will be notified. So as you guys can see, I do have my son right here. He wore me down. I was trying very hard not to do this video with holding him, but you know what I'm saying, 'tis the life of a mother. You know, our job never stop, we never sleep, we never get a break. So it is it is. But just to piggyback off of what I was talking about in my other video when it comes to the IRS code, so I did find the information on 3 codes that I think are significant to what some people may be seeing on their transcripts. So the first code is the 846 code. I did talk about this. The 846 code, as of on here, says refund or overpayment, is the transcript code that signals the time for a happy dance, that the refund is forthcoming, okay? And then the second code on here is 570, IRS code 570, additional liability pending or credit hold. It is a code that means that there is a bump in the road for some tax refunds. That just simply means that your return is going through additional review. Now, sometimes it means that there could have been an error, but it doesn't necessarily mean that there's an error on your part. It could be an error on their part, in which case there will need some extra processing time. Now, some people have had their returns be on hold and have received this 570 code, and it may have been released a week after. Sometimes it's 2 weeks after, but just expect that there's going to be an additional 2 to 3 week extra processing time for your refund. Again, I honestly just feel like right now, what's going on, because they're overwhelmed and they're behind, that accidentally so many people who filed their returns early may have had their returns bumped to the side, and then they're processing the ones that have come in after that. I don't know why. I don't know how. I wish I had that information for you guys. I know it's unfortunate because so many people is relying on that money. This is the worst possible time, the worst possible year for them to be going through this again after they signaled to the public that they were ready, that they had completely submitted all of the stimulus payments as of the first and the second stimulus payments have all went out, and that they were completely caught up with all of the tax returns for the previous tax year, and now they're already behind in this tax year. But it is what it is, you guys. I know it's not the information or the news that you want to hear, but I still think that you guys should be in the know, because there's so many of you who are calling the IRS trying to get through and you are unsuccessful. So if you need a little bit more, I wouldn't say reassurance, but if you're still having problems getting through, I did leave some information as to what I do when I call in my previous video if you need to get through and speak to an Internal Revenue Service representative. So the last code that I have here is 826. It means overpayment transfer. It's a code that means that a refund will be used to pay owed debts. Okay, so I think those are the only significant codes. Not to say that those are the only codes. There are more codes, but these are the only codes that I think are relevant or significant right now that I think that you guys need to know about. I found this information on I Got My Refund, which is the tax refund grapevine. Sometimes you will have Internal Revenue Service people come on here and join the discussion. Sometimes you will have tax repayers join the discussion, and sometimes it'll just be people who are waiting for their tax returns, who are sharing information that they received, if they've gotten through and spoken to an Internal Revenue Service representative, and just their individual situations. So sometimes that is helpful for people. It gives people a little bit of hope to see that other people are in a similar situation and maybe their return has been processed and pushed ahead and now they have a direct deposit date. But I'm going to get off of that, you guys. So I wanted to update you guys on what's going on with the stimulus. So we've got a lot of good news when it comes to the stimulus. I think the only thing that is most important that people are really talking about and wanting to hear about is these $1,400 stimulus checks. So I just wanted to talk about that really briefly, and then I'm going to give you guys the emergency SNAP March allotment states that have been approved, as well as the payout dates, and then the current states that have been approved for pandemic Ebt 2020-2021 school year. So when it comes to the stimulus checks, yes, it has been processed or approved for $1,400. Now, if you guys remember when they did the $600 stimulus checks, Joe Biden was saying that that is a down payment or a deposit. And the reason why I'm saying that is because a lot of people are real salty and in their feelings about the fact that it's not a full $2,000 check. He said it is a deposit. It's a down payment. For those of you who've purchased cars before, you know what a down payment or a deposit is. It means that you're going to pay some now and you're going to pay some later. So I mean, for me, it makes sense. I know it's not what some people were expecting, but I think people just got a little bit overzealous and just a little bit overjoyed at the fact that they were getting $2,000 and just assumed that they were giving you $600 and then another $2,000, when in fact he kept saying down payment. So $600 was a down payment towards the $2,000 stimulus checks. I know I may get some people mad in the comments, but you know what I mean? That's how I'm taking it. I think at the end of the day, especially if you have children, if you're going to get $1,400 for a household of four, you're married, plus you have 2 kids, or if it's just you and you have 3 kids, there's no limit to the amount of dependents that you can have. So you're going to get $5,600 for a household of 4. I mean, at this point, I'm just rather like, let's stop crying over spilled milk, people. Let's worry about the things that we can control right now and just be grateful, because it could be a lot worse. They can just be giving us another $600 check, and then we'd be salty about that. So moving on, it's $1,400 per dependent, per child dependent, per adult dependent, $1,400. As far as I know right now, there is no text within this $600 bill that states that child support will garnish or any credit debt will be garnishing these stimulus checks. So if you owe child support, you are still eligible to get your $1,400 stimulus check. Okay. SSI, SSDI, people who don't necessarily file taxes will be getting the $1,400 stimulus check. I'm pretty sure it's going to be the same way that you received it the last time. In terms of who is going to get the checks first, most likely is going to go to those who, of course, has direct deposit bank information in the IRS system right now. Now, they're supposedly going off of your 2020 tax return. However, if you have not yet filed your 2020 tax return, then obviously they will go off of your 2019 tax return. Okay, so if you have banking information on file, then you will be the first to receive your checks. And as we know from my previous video, and I'm pretty sure you guys are following the news, Joe Biden has already made a statement as of this past Saturday saying that it's possible that if the House passes the bill, which they're supposed to be debating and signing it today, they have to go in and sign on those amendments to the bill, which basically cuts the unemployment boost from $400 a week down to $300 a week, but then it will be extended all the way till September 6th instead of August 29th. And then, what was the other thing? For the first $10,200, it will be tax-free, meaning you won't be taxed on that. Now, on that note, that's for unemployment benefits. So $10,200 will be tax-free. So if you have already filed your taxes for 2020 and you've already paid on that, from what I know, there is no further action needed from you. I believe that the IRS will amend your return on their end. And so it's possible that you may receive a little bit extra in your tax return if you haven't already, your tax refund if you haven't already received it, or you may just receive a second check for the money that you've already paid, the taxes that you've already paid on your unemployment benefits. So again, that's another good thing. On top of that, I think that was pretty much the only other change that I can remember right now. I'm trying to remember all of this off the top of my head because my son is distracting me right now. So again, Joe Biden did mention on Saturday that he feels confident that once it gets signed, hopefully it should get signed today. Today is Tuesday, the 9th. It should be signed between today and tomorrow. Hopefully they don't run into any negative opposition while they're reviewing the amendments to the stimulus package. If they get it signed, then they could have it on President Joe Biden's desk by Friday of this week, which means that they can start getting those checks out, hopefully, to everybody by the end of March. So I definitely think that there is some good news there, definitely some light at the end of the tunnel. Now, for pandemic Ebt, Benefits. I am going to give you guys the names of the states that have currently been approved for pandemic EBT. I still have yet to see California on that list. And honestly, I have been checking every day. I have been on a hunt like a fox in the woods, trying to figure out when and where they are going to put us on the list. And I have yet to see anything be updated for that. Okay. So as of right now, on the United States Department of Agriculture website for pandemic benefits EBT for 2020-2021 school year, we have Arizona, Connecticut, Delaware, Florida, Illinois, Indiana, Kentucky, Massachusetts, Michigan, Minnesota, New Mexico, North Carolina, Ohio, Puerto Rico, Rhode Island, South Carolina, Tennessee, Vermont, Virginia, Washington, West Virginia, and Wisconsin. So that is it for pandemic EBT. Now, I'm going to give you guys the names of the states that have currently been approved for March allotments. No, I have not seen anything for April as of yet. So for March allotments, including the payout dates, and you guys bear with me as usual, I like to tell you guys that I do not have this in alphabetical order. So you're just going to have to listen to this part of the video all the way through just to make sure that you don't miss your state and your information. Okay. California, April 18th. Now, I've heard that there's some discrepancy with California saying that California has already received their March allotments. California pays a month behind. So we received our February payments in March, which was March 7th. This past, I think it was Sunday. Yeah, this past Sunday. But our March allotments we will receive in April. So California will receive their March allotment April 18th. Colorado, March 7th through the 12th. DC, March 10th through April 3rd. Alaska, March 10th through the 1st. No, March 1st through the 10th. What's happening? I think I've got some dyslexic energy going on right now. Alaska again, March 1st through the 10th. Hawaii, April 12th. Illinois, March 23rd through the 31st. New Jersey, March 5th. 1st through the 5th, regular issuance dates. Iowa, regular issuance dates. Wisconsin, March 20th, and then late and reinstated cases, May 8th. Indiana, March 5th through the 23rd, odd days staggered only. Oregon, March 10th, and then March 30th. Kansas, April 15th, and then the 24th through the 24th. I'm sorry, Kansas, April 15th through the 24th. Maine, March 10th. Maryland, all month long, depending on your regular issuance dates. Montana, March 2nd through the 6th. Rhode Island, March 4th. Vermont, April 15th. Virginia, March 16th. Washington, regular issuance dates. West Virginia, March 4th. Wyoming, March 1st through the 5th. Alabama, you will receive 2 disbursements. There should be 2 disbursements. You will receive your January allotment on April 1st, and you will also receive your March allotment on April 1st. So you should receive a double amount on April the 1st. It's to be deposited on March 31st, but you will not see it. It should not be available until April 1st. Georgia, March 25th, 26th, 29th, and 31st. Kentucky, March 2nd through the 19th, according to your regular schedule and last number of Social Security. And the new applications will be receiving their March allotments the day after approval. Mississippi, March 2nd, and then 2 days after approval for new applications. Missouri, March 1st through the 22nd, which is regular issuance dates. North Carolina, March 22nd through the 31st. South Carolina, March 1st through the 19th, and then March 1st through the 31st for new applications. So those March allotments will be added in manually, most likely the day after approval, but they will be doing that all month long in South Carolina for new apps. Arizona, March 1st, so you should have already received it. Louisiana, March 4th, 11th, 18th, and the 25th. New Mexico, staggered all month long. Texas, March 8th through the 12th. Utah, March 28th. Florida, March 11th. Hold up. Okay, Guam, March 26th. Idaho, April 11th through the 15th. Michigan, March 20th. Nevada, you're on there, but I don't have any information in terms of your deposit dates, but you have been approved for March allotments. New Hampshire, March 5th. 9th, 16th, 23rd, and 30th. Oklahoma, March 10th through the 15th. Pennsylvania, March 17th through the 20th, and then March 23rd through the 27th, and then final run on May 7th. Tennessee, March 1st through the 20th, and then Connecticut, March 17th, 19th, 26th, and then every Friday in March to catch up on any applications that they may have missed. Delaware, March 24th. Nebraska, April 6th. New York, for New York City, I have March 16th through the 20th, and then the 23rd through the 27th. So in between those dates, it will be deposited and then available the very next day. And then for the rest of the state, I have March 8th through the 11th, and then March 14th through the 18th. North Dakota, March 8th only if they have any funds available. Ohio, March 25th. And then finally, I have South Dakota, April 23rd. New apps, depending on your application approval, will be either April 23rd or April the 30th. All right, you guys, so that is all the information I have. Again, we know that the House is supposed to be signing this bill today, although one source said it could possibly be tomorrow. At the end of the day, let's hope that they get it signed between today, Tuesday the 9th, or either tomorrow, Wednesday the 10th. Hopefully we can have it sitting on President Joe Biden's desk by Friday. Hopefully, fingers crossed, you guys. But either way, you guys will definitely be seeing an update on that as soon as it is available. So remember to live, love, and elevate. I'm going to get on out of here because I'm hot. He's making me sweat and my nose is itching. And I will definitely see you guys in the next video. Peace.